So let's have a look at this graph. When we're thinking about domain and range, like we talked about in class, we want to look across the graph. When we're looking at the domain, right, we're looking across the inputs, the x-axis. And so here it's just asking for the domain. So let's look. If you pretend that you would take your pencil and drag it across, or take your cursor and pretend that you have this vertical line, right, kind of like the vertical line test, and see, where does this graph start? We can see it starts here and ends here. So what we want to note is that at this point, x equals -5, and at this point, 9, 10, right, x equals 10. And it says, right, be careful with the endpoints. Here, this is the closed circle. Here we have the open circle. So if it starts at -5, then we want to write less than or equal to. And so to do that on the keyboard, you can click these keys to have it show up. It usually does. I think maybe because I'm in preview, it's not showing that. But if you just click the less than and then click the equal sign right after, it changes your less than sign into that equals less than or equal to sign. So just a keyboard shortcut, and then we can write X. And now you see it automatically starts to highlight, right? And now we've said we want to include X. We have this solid line, because check if we just did, oh, not that. If we just did that, look, it turns into a dotted line. If we just did the less than, but we want the whole thing, we want less than or equal to, and now it changed automatically to the solid line. But now it's going on, right? And if I grab my eraser here, right, eraser, please. Our domain starts there, but right, it starts here, but does it go on forever? No, it doesn't, right? It stops right here at x equals 10. So, but it's an open circle. So this is why we want the dotted line. So it's just going to be less than, and then we write 10, boom. So it goes from here right to that point, right? X equals -5 to x equals 10, but right, not including, make that a U, including x equals 10. So this is our set notation if we're thinking about it, or our inequality. If you wanted to write it in actual set notation, you could write it as -5 less than or equal to x less than 10, right? The set of all x equals the set of all x such that, and then you keep going. Or, sorry, not x equals, what am I doing? Silly. D, right, domain, or you can say the domain goes from -5 to 10. And this is that, right, closed, we include the endpoint here, but open, we don't include this endpoint with the parentheses. So it's not a completely closed interval or completely open interval. It is kind of this mixed interval. All right, so I'm going to clear that. Let's, and